Guys, it's October. It means one thing. It means it's creeping closer to Halloween. And to mark that occasion, this week's Director's Cut, we are going to be doing Halloween, the original 1978 John Carpenter extravaganza. Do you like that one? Extravaganza. Watching it back, it takes you way back to a simpler time where nothing was, and we speak about this quite a lot of times in the Director's Cut. We really enjoy the practical effects, and this film absolutely nails it. Not a lot of gore, not a lot of bloods, not a lot of murders getting seen on camera, but what we have is we have a masterpiece by John Carpenter.
Absolutely. So just the biggest thing in it for me that and this might, especially for younger people, I like the fact that your imagination is left to fill in the blanks, because a lot of films now, they go over the top with effects, CGI. They want to show everything in like excruciating detail. This doesn't. Like the murders, like you say, not overly gory. The when the doctor finds the truck away out in the middle of nowhere, there's no much mess about, and the camera just pans away and you see the top of the driver who's been left there dead. And that for me is good. It's like, oh, what happened here? And while you're still thinking, what's happened here? We're moving on to the next bit now. Yep. And I really enjoyed that. And also the nostalgia, like the phone on the house phone. What's going on? Like all these wee things, like you couldn't just quickly pull out your phone and do something. You have to try and get them on the house phone. What's going on? Right, they're not answering. What's happening over there? Where, again, younger people probably don't remember this type of thing. Yep. But I like that part of it.
So we grew up in a time where it was very quaint. Nobody had cameras or many cameras. And this was one of the things Craig's put up there. It's a fictional town. But it's like every American, it's like a classic American town in California where a murder takes place with a young kid. And I think that's the opening scene where we see young Michael. You don't even know who it is yet because it's through the eyes of him, which must be one of the very first times that's ever done. Am I right in saying that?
I can't think of many other examples.
Because that was one of the things that John Carpenter, when he was making this film, he spent a lot of the budget, which was, Craig's got down here, $325,000, and he spent the majority of that on these cameras. So they were more, you didn't have to have big runners to run a camera. They were handheld. You could be more, it felt more like a person moving rather than this running along tracks, following a character. And they had to be on the right movement. And I think that first scene is tremendous, the way you've done it. Looking in the window, taking its time, going round about.
And again, the filling in the blank of, who is this?
Well, while we're on this subject then, will we start with our favourite scenes?
Yes.
Because this is, that first scene's got to be up there for me.
100%.
For sure. But I kind of felt like that one was too easy to pick. So I went for something a little bit more difficult. When he is, the girl's names went right out of my head, but he's waiting on her in the car, and she feels it, and she touches the condensation in the window. Now, I felt like that was a little touch that you wouldn't get in a lot of films. A lot of people, how many horrors have you watched where they just get in the car and they're driving along, and next thing the boy jumps out or whatever. But she sort of gets in the car and it's like, that's strange. You don't really get that. And I just thought that was a good little, a nice wee touch, a nice wee bit of realism. Like, she suspects for whatever reason somebody's in here, and of course he is, jumps out and
so at that point she does not know that he's there. There's no babysitter murderer, which was the original name. Did you see this? The original name of what the film was going to be called.
Tell me this last week.
But what John Carpenter said is, he's like, what I'm wanting to do, and I told you this last week as well, he's like almost imagining an elastic band, and he's stretching it and stretching it and stretching it, and that's how he's building that tension. How far can I stretch this? How far, like that wee touch to redirect your eyes one way to then pull it back the other way? That's stretching an elastic band.
Great analogy.
And then it has to snap.
If you think about that with that scene with Annie's death, there's so many points before that where it could have happened. Like she spills whatever on her shirt, she has to go out to the laundry room that's outside,
and she's stuck.
And you're like, right, she's dead.
She can't get
exactly.
Because then the wee girl comes, and then she goes back in the house to phone her boyfriend, and then there's just so many points where it could happen. And if you're watching this for the first time, you're like, this is going to happen, and it doesn't. and it doesn't.
Imagine though you were a horror fan, right? Say like a more modern horror fan who's not seen this film before, and you're watching it now. Like exactly like you say, you'd be like, they're going to get, because you would be a bit cynical, You're going to be like, it's going to be now. And like you say, these points where it could happen are so important, where you think it's actually a bit random that's where he decides to do it, really. Like you would have thought it would be somewhere else. But that was my favourite.
Were you going for your favourite?
I did put the first scene, it does have to be up there. And then sort of as an extension of that, all the scenes that are kind of from Michael's perspective, where it's just, you can hear talking in the background of whoever he's stalking, and it's just his heavy breathing throughout. But like what I picked for my actual favourite scene is when Dr. Loomis and Sheriff Brackett, they go to the Myers house, because Dr. Loomis is hunting Myers, and the sheriff's kind of like, well, like, what's the deal with this guy? And he basically gives you like everything you need to know about Michael Myers. Met him 15 years ago, there was nothing there at all. Spent 8 years trying to get through to him, and another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realised he was purely and simply evil. Like, it doesn't tell you anything about Michael Myers, like about his backstory, but that's all you need to know. He's just evil.
It was so direct. There was no filler. There was no like, well, this happened to him. No, he's just bad, and this is what he does, and he's no fixable.
And well, that's it as well. It's the fact that Loomis is like, I spent almost 10 years of my life trying to get through to him, and then I realised there's no getting through to him. There was also a scene where Dr. Loomis is meant to call his wife, and then the actor Donald Pleasance was like, he wouldn't do that. Like, he is too obsessed with Michael Myers to have a family.
That's his whole life. Was this in like a sort of cut scene?
It was like, aye.
So they just
I don't even think they filmed it. I think they were going to film it, and Donald Pleasance was like, he shouldn't do that.
Obsessive. It would,
But
I've never.
Do you like the scene where Laurie, who was an unknown actress, and Jamie Lee Curtis, she had never done a film before. She'd done like a couple of TV shows, I'm sure, at this point, and her acting wasn't great, but they put her in there. But there's a great scene where she finds the dead bodies, where he sort of falls down. She opens up the cupboard, and there's a pal squashed in there, and she's lying all cattywampus, and then the other body flings down. And as you're saying, prime example of when Michael Myers can come in and do a massive killing, but he doesn't. He lets her run out the room, and she's standing against the wall, heavy breathing because she's panicking, and then just Michael Myers' face in the like he's in the doorway, and it's just that white mask. And cracking scene.
But again, it lets you fill in the. I really enjoy the bits where like, I just looked out the window and I seen somebody there, and then I looked again and he's not there. The bit where he's in the washing and stuff like that, because we've probably all done that. When it's like, done the old
double take.
I'm sure I seen something there. No, you didn't. You're just imagining that, and then you start to think like, would you be the same if I was saying to you, Paul? I've just seen somebody out there. Don't want to be idiot. Like. It is relatable, and I think that's quite an important part. These sort of the hedge is obviously the iconic one, but for me, I prefer the in the washing one, because like it looks at the window, that's him there. No, or it's just your old 87-year-old neighbour. Like it's Mr. I think it's Richards is 87 years old, and there probably is this sort of. I think as well at that time, there was a lot more weirdos kicking about. I know we say this now, like. With social media and stuff, but there was just weird guys. You didn't go up to their bit.
Stranger danger.
Can you remember like the killer clowns being a kid?
Aye.
We used to get told, folklore or not folklore, there was a van driving around with clowns in it, and they would grab you, pull you off the street. Just what you would tell your kids.
Never seen a clown in my life, mate.
No.
Never happened, thankfully.
Aye.
But I know boys that did.
Aye. Somebody always seen that.
Somebody had always seen them.
I get chased with the killer clown van,
It's
but there was these sort of urban legends.
Aye.
And I imagine in a place like America, which is a melting, like a hot pot of
people coming and going.
Different nations all be coming together in one place, and all these different states where nobody really had to have a residence in that state. They could potter about all over these places which was one of the real murders. Like there was a lot of murders,
Hitchhiker style murders,
was not getting solved because none of the states were working together. So totally, it must be massive in America where you're watching this thing.
And especially young women at that time, they probably did have to be like, hey, there's a lot of freaks out there. There's a lot of, I know we say this now, but this is because we've got social media and people get exposed and things like that. But at that time, they never. And like you say, stay away from strange people. Just, there's no, he's probably all right, or he's probably got a wee bit of this or a wee bit of that. You just avoided them. Like, stay away, he's strange. So I think he does a good job of capturing that. And today we have to remember that this is quite a different time period. Like it's not, so I spoke to my son. My son's a massive horror fan. And I said to him, what do you think? Do you enjoy this film? And do you think it still hits today? And he's like, absolutely. Still really enjoyed it. So I think for me, that gives it the big tick, doesn't it?
This was pretty much the blueprint for slasher films. Because after this, there was a lot of people who tried to copy the exact same thing. We had like Friday the 13th, very similar. Crazy guy trying to kill them. Am I right in saying before this, they had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one of the...
So...
and Deliverance was like kind of...
What I don't think Deliverance gets classed as a slasher. I think what people like consider to be like the first slasher is Black Christmas, which came out in 1974. Texas Chainsaw did come out the same year as well. But as you say, like Halloween set up the blueprint. It's like, here's the tropes, like you have sex, you're going to die, there's a final girl. Like it just... It laid out the plan for how to make a slasher film.
As you said about that final girl, that was one of the things that sort of destroyed Jamie Lee Curtis's career for a long time, because she was always seen as the final girl.
And that's an issue, aye.
It was an issue when she was trying to get acting, and she came from like a pretty prestigious family. Her mum was originally in Psycho. Her mum does the Scream.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What's her name? Curtis is her dad.
Janet Leigh.
Janet Leigh's her mum, and she does the original. So she was the original Scream Queen. That's what they call her. And then her daughter then took on this role of being the Scream Queen.
I thought she was very good.
She was, but she really struggled to get any sort of movies. And
just pigeonholed.
Got pigeonholed, aye.
I think her next film was a horror, was it? Possibly could be.
I don't know. What was your favourite scene? Was it the one with the bodies?
I liked the original scene. Just the way it sets up, and you still don't know who it is. You hear her saying Michael, you still don't know it's her brother, because he puts on the mask, all this kind of stuff, and then it's just as it changes the point of view from looking through Michael Myers' eyes to paneling round after seeing his parents, and then the dad takes off the mask and it's him standing with a knife.
And as well, it's that big, like, there was I remember this clearly when I was little. These psycho kids, like, were doing stuff to their parents. Do you remember you would always get these, did your mum ever get those, like, women's magazines? And there was always these, was it like OK Today and stuff like that? And there was these ones where, like, I had to get my own son sectioned because he was dangerous and hurting people and stuff like that. This is always a sort of a big taboo, people's own children turning on them and hurting them. And that's a kind of, I'm not really sure what the right word for it is, but it's, at the time, again, it was a thing being propagated. Like, there is these dangerous kids out there. They seem fine, and then one night they just bump. Because you get no motive for why he does it. Like, why would a 6-year-old stab his sister to death? There's no, again, everything just left to your imagination. Like, why is he like this?
He's got the devil in him. What is it Loomis says about him in his eyes? Because it reminds me very much...
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
It reminds me very much of the Jaws. The eyes black.
There is a lot of films that you see it in, if that makes, you can see that was maybe a little Halloween inspired, even up to, like, I was thinking about Terminator 2. See when he's got him knifed and stuck to the wall, and he does it, the T-1000 does it to the step parents as well.
And he stabs him.
Aye, and you just think, like, oh, there it is again. Like, that's quite a hard-hitting scene. So I think it obviously has gone on to have a mega impact on a lot of directors and a lot of films. And of course, because it's a trendsetter, groundbreaker.
So just while we're on I see you've still got the thing up about the cameras and how much they spent in the Panavision cameras. Was a fair bit of the budget. And it links with this first scene, this scene we all kind of love. the cameras only had a certain amount of running time because of the film and the magazine size that would go in the back of the camera. And the reason he puts on the mask is it's a reset of the camera.
It's like a hidden cut.
It's a hidden cut. So it's the reset of a new scene where they took the camera out, but they didn't know how they could do it, and they wanted this big, massive shot where they carried right the way through up to go right through into the murder, and they couldn't do it. And they had people, so when they're filming that scene, they had people like sort of lifting stuff out the road so they could get a clear run. So you would be looking, as you're looking as the scene's taking place, there's people who are dotted around, and what they were saying was people were jumping out of windows, people were grabbing stuff out the road so they could get this scene as slick as possible so they could have that one cut where the wee boy puts on the mask, and then it's the same again, people are jumping out of windows, moving plants, moving doors, all this kind of stuff.
That's cool.
And you don't get that now. None of that needs to happen now.
The effort required.
Yep, and they just have a camera. And even when we were doing that stuff with Tom Aspinall a few weeks ago, how big are the cameras?
What did you do it on?
They had, the guys have got cameras and they're strapped up in these big machines, these big wires, and they've got a full rig and there's not a lot of weight in them, whereas they were doing this with
one hand.
They were doing this with this Panavision where they were using one camera to track all this.
It probably was, I bet, like a real graft, and you really had to be thinking about, we've got to get everything right here because, again, we do not have the money for this to go wrong. It's not just a matter of like, it's important we get it right to save people time, and there is not the budget to have to keep doing this or to be able to.
How many days was it filmed at 30?
20.
20 was it?
20 days.
20 days to film
Incredible.
A blockbuster that made 70 million for a $325,000
That was my fact, by the way.
Budget.
Aye. Mate, it's mad.
Absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it?
It's great, but it just shows you that for a person with the vision, and he's already got it worked out in his head what he wants to do, there doesn't seem to be any like off the cuff. Like you say, they're filming these scenes in one run. You can't just rock up and go, I didn't like that, so we'll change it for this. The plan is already very clear, bum, 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 and this is how it's going to go. And like, I like the fact that there wasn't hundreds of moving parts in it. It was just simple. You don't need to know you don't really get to know too much about anyone. And I thought that was what helped make it.
While we're in this kind of realm, we all share our trivia. We picked up on it.
Right, what trivia are you going for?
Well, I've got a few. So, as you're saying, Ross, they obviously had a plan, and that means the film was shot out of sequence. So, John Carpenter created a fear meter so that Jamie Lee Curtis would know what level of scared she would need to be in that scene. Because obviously they'll maybe film later scenes where if she's meant to be like a 10, they'll do them first, and then she might need to dial it back. So he's like, right, you're a 7 on the fear meter.
Let's go for this.
Excellent.
Scene.
Hey. Very good.
What was the one I told you the other day?
Do you want me about the pumpkins?
Yep.
Amazing. I'll let you do it because this is that.
So
I did not believe you when you first told me. I was like, no chance.
This film was set and this film was filmed in spring, so there was not a lot of pumpkins getting grown because it's not the season for them. So they only had 3 pumpkins. One of them, what they broke, the wee boy breaks it as he smiles on it, and they managed to carve one up, and they had a spare just in case. But they also had like was it a Brazilian or an Argentinian root vegetable which was bright green, and they had to paint it orange if they needed any more, which is hilarious.
Incredible.
Another one that's I find kind of funny was obviously spring. There's not a lot of leaves in the ground, so they had to make all these fake leaves, and they had to reuse all the leaves, so they would gather them all back up, put them all back out, and then this was the same leaves they used for the whole film.
And so much it's out in the street. Do you know what I mean? Yep. Imagine like, right, you need to put the leaves back. End of the shift. I got to bring all the leaves in. Didn't miss any. It's aye. So, but mine was just 20 days of filming over 4 weeks, and that in itself, I think, is quite. It's like, wow, that is impressive. You can't get that wrong.
I'm sure I've got another few kind of fun facts.
I got a couple more as well.
Right.
One of them being that actors all had to wear their own clothes just because there was no budget for wardrobe.
I saw that one as well.
Jamie Lee Curtis went to a store and spent like $100 on new clothes, and that was her wardrobe for the film. Nick Castle, who plays Michael Myers, he only get paid $25 per day for his role, but he done it as a favour for John Carpenter, so they're friends, and Nick Castle just kind of wanted to see how movies are made. So he's like, I'll do this role where I don't really need to do anything, just so I can kind of peek behind the curtain a wee bit, because he didn't care about being an actor.
Aye. And when you think about it, his actual acting, he doesn't say anything. He just steps out for the hedge, steps in, hangs about in the washing, doesn't he? Like, drives the motor somehow.
They kind of touch on that, don't they?
Aye,
and it's like Loomis loses his kind of shit. So I've got like a few good facts. So I'll just run through some of them. Donald, the guy who played Loomis, was pissed a lot of the time. He was just nailing bottles of wine. In the first scene where you see him in the cab,
he's rocking it.
He's absolutely smashed. So when you're watching that, you see him looking at the nurse, and you can clearly see the guy's pissed.
We talked about it last week on the train when we watched it.
And so he had issues with smashing the booze. He didn't like the film. He hated it. So he was originally Dr. No in James Bond. And he thought the film was going to be shit. They originally wanted to cast for this guy. So they wanted Dr. Loomis to be, they take a wild guess, who would have been the man in Horrors?
78 though.
He'd have still been the man in Horrors. Saruman the Wise, Christopher Lee. They wanted him to be originally, and he said, no, I don't want to be typecasted in these roles. So
because he's probably the biggest part in the film.
Well, he was also the most experienced actor as well. So see, for the 20 days of filming, they had him for 5 days, and of that £325,000 budget, he get 25 grand. So he took like
Donald Pleasance in it.
Donald Pleasance, he took a huge chunk of the budget.
That's it's better. Imagine that at that time as well.
I
that's
got
a big lump of dough.
He was in The Great Escape and James Bond. You Only Live Twice. The other thing I had was The Mask. We all know about The Mask. Everybody who's a horror fan or watched it knows it's the mask of Star Trek's Captain Kirk. So they sent one of the prop guys to go and pick up a mask for a Halloween shop. And he picked up 2 masks. He picked up a clown mask, and he's run it with a clown mask, and they went, that's too creepy. That's really creepy. We can't have it. It was too far. So what they did was they shaved the eyebrows off the mask, painted it white, dyed its hair a little bit, cut the eyes holes bigger, and that's how they used the original mask. Also on the mask, they lost the original mask for the first Halloween. They don't know who's got it. They don't know where it is. They don't know anything about it. That seems like a bit of a faux pas.
The doctor's got it. He's went, fuck you.
See, the thing with the mask as well, it's never, ever, ever been as good as it was in that film. Nothing is ever as good. Like, there'll be like cases where like the eye holes are like too big and you can see their eyes, or it's like CG, or like, I'm going to bring up a couple of pictures because
I like as well that you almost never really get a good look at it. Do you know what I mean? You never.
Yeah, you want to stare at it.
You want to be like, what has he actually got on?
Halloween 5, like
terrible.
They're just like
much.
that one. That's my least favourite one. Like that doesn't look like Michael Myers anymore.
No.
It looks like someone, and then this one where you can see his actual eyes.
Nah, that one.
Like they've all tried to like do the mask again, and it just can't be done.
I know way. You only get one go with it.
What I will say, and we'll maybe touch on this in a later director's cut, the mask from the 2018 reboot does the best job.
Because I think they made that for a copy, didn't they? Rather than actually buying a mask and trying to recreate it, they actually made a copy of this mask.
They also, I don't know if this would maybe play into it, but they brought Nick Castle back for the 2018 one, so maybe it's like the shape of his face as well. It just conforms better to it.
I like that, the shape. That's what it was originally called. He was originally, they never knew what to call him, so they called him the shape. I've got one more fact, which I think's quite funny. So the name of Michael Myers, do you know this one? So the where he got the name from was John Carpenter, who made a film, and it was called Assault on Precinct 13. It was a remake of an old cowboy classic, but he modernised it, and it sort of bombed in the US. It tanked, but he got a phone call for the London Film Festival, asked if they can show this film because they thought it was amazing. It ended up winning. The guy who called him was called Michael Myers, which is kind of cool, isn't it? So John Carpenter named him after it. And I think that's one of the things what John Carpenter does. He names quite a lot of his characters after people who he's had interactions with. I'm sure he's named one of the girls after his high school girlfriend, which is kind of
Any
cool.
weird,
And he's
mate?
and at this point, he's writing and directing this with his wife at the time, who is, what's her name?
Deborah Hill. I don't think they weren't married at the
They're
time.
not married at this point. I think all that kind of group of people who were linked to this film work together quite a lot, am I right?
There's a lot of people are like that with the names. Like, where did you get the names for X, Y, and Z, aren't they? Like, obviously, where I work, Harry Potter's a huge one. It's like, where did you get the names for all these Harry Potter characters and so on? And the stories behind it are brilliant. And I like when there's that sort of personalised element to it. That's very cool.
You want to do punchlines? The funniest moments that you've got for the film?
What are you going for?
Right, well, I've got a few.
Right.
So the first one is an unintentional one, and it's, see when the hardware store's been robbed?
Yep.
And that's when Dr. Loomis first shows up and he's talking to Sheriff Brackett, and you can see Michael Myers in the car. It's like he's sitting his driving test. He's just doing everything perfectly. He's sitting, waiting at the junction. He'll let the car go, put his indicator on, pull out.
But it's a classic misdirection, isn't it? Because as he's talking to the sheriff, the car drives past and it's over this side, and that's when he turns around. Mm-hmm. And it's not as if the car's very discreet. It's got the actual signature of the mental asylum stuck to the side of it.
It badges all the way around it. My favourite part is similar to that. It's when the sheriff's daughter pulls up and they've just been smoking a joint in the car with the windows up, right? Who named is doing that?
Hotboxing themselves.
And then they're like, they don't wind the window. They're like, oh, put that out, right? Just that cool. And then they put the window down, like full on the roll down window, and speak to him. Like, that would have just been stinking. And he's a policeman. Of course he would. So, I found that bit quite funny.
Weed's such like a huge thing in like 70s films, isn't it? Especially like 70s horror.
Mate, 70s horror loved some weed and they loved some titties.
They did. But it's because at that time was the big anti-weed thing. You remember like...
the war on drugs.
Aye. They didn't know about heroin and cocaine yet, really. Like it was, especially because these films are being made in a more affluent white culture. At that time, heroin was just in black communities. So... it's very funny how weed always appears in these films, and especially horror. They do love but I just thought that was hilarious. Like the wine, hey dad, how are you? Cool. It would have been stinking, and he doesn't say a word. Like, oh, okay, have a good day, girls.
I see you've got the classic driving.
Aye, like I like this for two reasons, because like it could be a massive plot hole.
Well, it is.
Like, if they don't say, like, so Haddonfield's 150 miles away, can't drive a car. He was doing very well last night. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons. See if they don't include that, like, just throwaway line, it would get ripped apart.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's a throwaway line, or do you think it's intentional?
So that it clears up all this nonsense about the driving. But he goes into the correctional facility when he's 6 years old. Mm-hmm. He's now a grown man. He doesn't know how to pump gas. So
true.
His car would have not been able to make the trip and driving around all the street.
And mind, in America, you've got to go in, give
pay.
them the money. You prepay for fuel.
Yep. So how do you know how to do that? Like, he knows how to drive a car. He knows how to follow the highway code. He
is an excellent driver.
He's
not erratic at all.
He's a model driver.
We need more of these psychopaths on the road.
I know.
Imagine somebody cutting him up.
He could be the instructor.
Like, what the hell? Michael Myers chasing you in the motor to vengeance.
That I'd never thought of the fuel part, because really all cars are automatic there. It's not that hard. Like, push down the brake and click it down into drive and you're away. But he's a model driver and he would have needed fuel.
But if it was a manual and just every 2 minutes he's fucking stalling the car.
I've made that scene even better with Loomis, where he has to stall it and he's like, fuck. And Loomis is like,
that would be good. I don't know. I like the fact that it's kind of left, because it gives you something to talk about in the film, doesn't it? But maybe somebody was helping him in there.
The devil? Well, how does he get shot? How many times he gets shot at the end of the film?
Oh, it's like 3 or 4 times.
The doctor lets it bang, eh?
He uses the full clip. So let's say it's 6 bullets, right? Because he bum, and then he's still clicking it in, and he walks over.
None.
The devil helped him out.
He does hit him clean, and he takes the blade a good few times. One in the neck, mate.
One in the eye.
With a pin, the needles.
Mm-hmm. But it gets a full-on kitchen knife to the neck.
He does fall down very easy, but...
Aye, for a big guy.
If I'd taken that, I'd be like, right, come here, you. But he kind of just falls down and hits like the I'm dead, and then gets up. Maybe he's just the ultimate suspense guy. He just wants to...
Just, I'm going to play this cool.
He's building suspense in his own head.
This has gone wrong, but I'm going to play it cool.
What are you going for? What's the funniest bit for your watch?
It's
It's
the driving. It's the driving.
The driving's brilliant.
He shouldn't be able to drive like that. We've been driving for years and I still make mistakes.
I'm still bad.
Whereas he's just cruising down the highway, man.
Having a lovely day.
Aye.
I think we need to give an honourable mention to when he dresses up as Ghost Bob
Oh, brilliant. When he walks in, like, he's
with a sheet over him.
got a bit of hilarity there, hasn't he?
But the lassie asks him, this bit annoys me. She tells him to go and get him a beer. Like, go get me a beer. Fucking what? Like, if I was in bed with a lassie and she went, go and grab me a beer, I ain't bother, I'm putting my shoes on and I'm away. You know, I'm not coming back to you.
I spotted that scene as well. Like, sees it's kind of panning. So they've been messing around, this couple. And it's
I'm
all the
pointing
beer
at
cans at the
something,
side of the bed. There's just like maybe 6 or 7 beer cans. Like, there's no point where you're nailing 6 or 7 beer cans in between the sex that's taking part there. Like, Brewers Drip's a thing, and it was a thing back in the 70s as well. So,
And they've been smoking grass all day. They've been on the grass all night.
ain't no one fucking performing in that. And then she's like, go and get me another beer.
How old do the young guys look?
Well, this is the thing. So see, out of all of those like teenagers, Jamie Lee Curtis was the only one who was a teenager at that point. She was 19 years old. The average age of the cast is 26.
Wow.
So they are all older than they should be in the film.
But then that sits
a big
better
film.
when you're showing breasts. If you're showing minors' breasts, it's not as good. It's not good at all. I have to say that. Not good at all. But if they're 19, 20, yeah.
So aye. Ghost Bob, Michael Myers.
Ghost
he
Bob
gets a
is-
shout.
Ghost Bob is hilarious.
He's got a bit of fun in him, hasn't he?
Did he have that? Did he was that sheet just cutting about the house with the eye holes on
The
it?
holes already cut because he had to cut the holes out it and then decide to put
It was on the
sticks
line.
No, but he still had to cut
No, I'm
holes
trying to
out for
think.
the house.
Did it have eye holes cut out, or did they
Yes.
just have the glasses?
It had the eye
He
holes
had
cut
eye
out
holes
plus
and the glasses over.
on top of it. So he's been doing there like, watch out, it's going to be funny.
Poor Bob's
So
just
he's-
been hacked to death and all.
So he has to find the glasses. He has to find the sheet, then find the scissors.
Aye, there's eye holes in
Aye.
it.
Eye
Aye.
holes.
Because that's I remember thinking that, watch it, I was like, what is the...
Because as well, this is Halloween night, so if this was somebody's costume, they would have it. They'd not be leaving it in the house.
You're right.
So Michael's DIY'd this.
Costumes are better in the days. People made more effort.
Agreed. MD want to go out for Halloween is just we'll go to a couple of bobs. Just
You know what I was going to say
different
there,
kind
eh?
of sheet you want to cut up, mate.
I can't, I've got conditions that mean I can't anymore.
Right. Will we do?
We'll go into the fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, do we think any fighters could exist in this universe, or vice versa? Could any characters from this film exist in the MMA world?
So clearly has to be Michael Myers is unbeatable.
There's no coaching him though.
But
Alex
he doesn't need to
Pereira,
be
mate.
coached. He's just walking forward and you're nailing him.
Right, but this is the problem. He could go down the look guy, Rusmar Palhares,
Oh,
and he get
mate, he's
get
got
kicked
learning
out just because he was holding on to leg locks
just
and
get
like
knocked
no
out.
hangman.
I think you're knocking Michael Myers out.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So Palhares, he get kicked out the UFC because he wouldn't let go
Aye.
the heel hooks.
It's not
Right.
that more than one
So you
organisation.
think he ends up
I think Michael gets
PFL?
one. Aye, I think Michael gets one fight. And right, you've gouged
Done,
this
mate.
guy's eyes out. You're out right here.
He loves a good strangle as well, Mikey.
He does.
He does. He loves a wee over the back, couple.
Phone cable.
Mm-hmm.
Get some of the...
So he's clearly got the ability to choke somebody. Gets hard after that. So I think he'd be a good heavyweight. He'd probably mix up the division in it.
Kid range for that.
Tom Aspinall's like, fucking no Michael Myers again. He's a bastard.
Can grapple a bit. Take a shot.
Is he allowed to keep the mask on?
I insist that he does.
He has to.
Or is it going
like
to-
a luchador mask?
The boy in pride. Aye. I like Pereira for Michael Myers. See if you pulled off the mask and it was
Yep.
Alex Pereira, you'd be like, aye. Because he is that sort of just...
What about a Russian boy being one of these Dagestanis?
Nah.
Would you like
Keep
this?
it,
Would you
mate.
like the line where it's like Michael Myers kills somebody and goes, Chama? Chama.
That would be good.
He just choked somebody in the back of the motor. Chama.
Can Michael Myers stuff a takedown?
Oh, I don't think so.
There's only one way to find out.
I think you'd punch yourself out trying to put him out.
Jamie Lee Curtis gave it her best shot. So
Who would you replace? So making this film currently, who'd you replace?
Well, we're
On
moving
the
on to
UFC?
we're moving on to a different
sorry,
segment now, aye. So, do you want to hear my suggestions?
Yes, I seen who you got. He's definitely one of the boyfriends, isn't he?
Peyton Talbot gets murdered by Michael Myers at some point.
for being gay.
No, just for being
right.
a guy.
Just for being
Like, he looks like a teenager you would cast in one of these types of films.
Mhm.
And then my second one,
It's a crank picture you've got to him too.
I had to
done
dig
it,
that out of the
yeah.
archives.
You done.
Peyton's a good guy.
Someone from the Halloween universe transitioning into MMA.
Mhm.
Say Michael Myers doesn't exist, right?
Right.
Dr. Loomis needs to devote his life to something else.
I think
Got
he
it.
would.
He's an MMA coach.
He was my call. And he's
You know-
carrying a gun. He's ready to roll at all times.
No, I'm saying he's a coach.
You know what he could be as well? He could be Dr. Who's the doctor that does the weigh-ins for the UFC? He was the commission for
Golden Snitch.
it was a commission for California, and he went for being a California commission.
Mark Ratner.
Ratner, Dr. Ratner. So you could slip in Loomis there, or vice versa. You know
I
what
like
Ratner
Loomis.
talking about.
He's
But
my
just
favourite character.
Just as he said, how big is Jeff Nowitzki? He could easily be a Michael Myers. Go and find the height of Jeff Nowitzki, because I'm sure he's like 6'7". He's a big
bald
dude.
man.
Obviously, he's a little bit skinny. You need to fill that
I'm like 100
6'7".
Aye.
6'7". Like,
Is he?
how good a Michael Myers would he be? Just walking down, like just snitching on folk.
He's doing it.
Drugs. Is that weed I smell? Drugs.
Aye.
Change up the total film.
Aye. I like the Doctor. He was my favourite character in it. Going through, I was trying to find a favourite character. And I also like the fact he's an alky. It's good. He is who he is. And that's important.
Maybe he was a method actor and he was just using that alcoholism. He's like, this is the scene I want.
Maybe not.
Michael Myers would drive you to it
He would.
if you've spent your whole life trying to deal with this guy.
Probably.
I'm
Aye.
going to have to say, right, if he's a 6-year-old and he goes in there and he's only killed two people, like, he's just killed two folk. What's he doing anyway for the next couple of years? What are you asking him? You're a shit doctor.
Well, he's only killed his sister at that
Aye.
point.
No, he killed the boy as well, remember?
But boy,
The boyfriend.
no, he doesn't. Boyfriend leaves the house.
No, he leaves the house.
You see the boyfriend walk down the stairs and walk out the
He
door.
goes out and shuts the door.
Boyfriend bangs and
So he's
fucks
only
off.
killed his sister?
Yes.
Aye.
Right.
Because he takes her headstone away, mind.
That's
He
right.
sticks it in the bed.
I
and that.
forgot about this as well.
Aye,
where he
like
just
it's
pulls a
again, which is weird as
massive
fuck.
headstone.
Why does he do that? And then they've got to go through the like checklist, grave number 20.
and then
Oh,
walking
it's-
towards it. I forgot
aye.
about that scene.
Aye.
So he's only killed one person and he spent all that time in there.
He was 6.
Loomis is a shit doctor. Because
Maybe-
they're keeping him locked up, right? And I get you shouldn't be murdering folk. I understand that. But he's a shit doctor. He should be able to talk him back for the edge.
Is there ever any motive?
Yes.
The sex.
What, like in Halloween or like from a villain in general?
Aye, why is he bad?
I think it's sex.
He just is pissed off with people riding, aye.
No.
What do you think it is?
For Michael Myers?
Aye.
No, there's just no.
He's just
evil.
bad.
He's evil.
He's just
aye.
bad, aye.
No, he's a
right.
Pete
Aye, that's
Tom.
what I mean.
He watched his sister get panelled and he's like, damn these
No,
young-
because he doesn't watch that happen. He just sees them sneak upstairs. He doesn't know what they're doing. They could be fucking playing Jenga.
Jenga is good.
something's going to tumble.
I like that, by the way. You're just always ready with him.
Right, well, we do our title contenders.
Who's fighting for the title?
Who would we recast?
Oh, so we're looking for UFC 2.
No, so we're just doing present day actors.
Oh, right. Sorry. My apologies. Who'd you go for Michael Myers? Did you go for MD? Because I don't think it really matters.
No,
Could
I
be
didn't,
anyone.
I didn't say Andy.
Aye, big mask. You could, do you know what? You probably could. I don't want to be too, because he's just done such a great job there, and I'm maybe just picking him, but The Rock, because you just need a big fuck off guy, eh? In a mask.
Do you think he's too big?
Too big.
He's too big, aye.
Too big guy.
There's somebody that can just fit into a boiler suit and be a shape.
Just
You don't want fucking boundless muscles.
Eh,
I don't think it matters.
Nah,
I don't think there's
not
any point
relevant.
in doing it because it doesn't matter.
So the only people you're looking to recast really is Jamie Lee Curtis
And
and Dr. Loomis. They're the only two.
Maybe even the sheriff, though, to be fair. You do kind of need the sheriff.
Yeah, I get you.
And
I was looking younger.
Right, so I've put Anya Taylor-Joy as Laurie, and you think someone younger?
I was thinking younger because I originally looked at the Manson house from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They were all the people I was like, right, she'd be good. I just think they're all a bit too young. They're a bit too old, and it takes away from the film.
Right, well, another one I had, which you'll probably rule out because you would say too old, is Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I've never seen that film.
So she's in 10 Cloverfield Lane. She's also Ramona in Scott Pilgrim, if you know who that is. And then she's also married to Ewan McGregor. Not that that matters, but aye.
Did you have MD?
No, really, because it's quite hard because, so see, I think with these type of films, you always got a kind of breakout actress or actor in them, didn't you? And you could use somebody who's relatively inexperienced in acting. So it doesn't have to be, because like you say, for that time, there isn't mega star power in these films at that time. Jamie Lee Curtis is obviously a huge actress, but at that time she wasn't mega.
So you think if they remake the original, they just say, listen, we're going to reboot this, we're going to try and keep it nice, and you don't put an actress in it who people know?
You don't need a superstar, I don't think.
Well, if we're going to follow like the way the original film done it, and the Doctor is the big name actor, do you have anyone in mind?
Aye.
Because I've got somebody, and I think it's like perfect.
Go on.
So Ben Kingsley.
Ben
Saw
Kingsley.
you on the way scrolling down. Probably, but he already plays a doctor. In another
Shutter Island.
Aye.
Doesn't
So we
matter.
know he's good at it.
Aye, you
Aye,
can
so
do
you know
it.
he's good at it. Aye, I'm just saying. You're just typecasting him.
When I was looking at Laurie, I thought about the wee girl from the Sheldon. See his sister in Sheldon. I'm not sure what her name is, but I was thinking about kids who are, because we're thinking about kids
Like established actors, actresses.
who, well, when we make this film, are going to be a wee bit older. She is the girl Regan.
Aye.
So I was thinking this wee girl,
She's
17 years old.
Which is like the age range there meant to be at the time. Aye.
Aye, that makes sense. I like that one.
But I was only looking for age because I looked through a list of all these young actors and they were bringing up quite a lot of the same people.
I
And
think-
when you type in IMDb, and when I originally was looking at this, I thought, I'm just looking through. I typed in young girl actresses. And it was just,
who the door's gone in.
the door's getting kicked. And Paul's just, well, I don't know what's up.
I think now they would use like a singer, like a female singer, somebody like that. That would be, that's what I think the move they would make now for the modern time. So they would use like a...
Sabrina Carpenter and John Carpenter. What age is she?
Maybe.
26.
I mean, that's within the age range, what age the rest of them were.
I mean, you could make her look younger as well by taking off makeup, changing the hairstyle.
This is the type of route that a lot of films are going down now, is singers.
Who did you pick for Loomis?
I would probably agree with Craig there. There's not a massive... I don't know, I'm trying to picture older doctor type guys than now.
See, I went for
But you could...
the man.
Brad Pitt.
No, I wouldn't go for Brad Pitt. Oh, that's a good shout.
Aye, mate.
I
You
went.
wouldn't have missed me. He'd put it right between Michael Myers' eyes. He'd be dead.
I
And
went
scalp
for.
him.
I went for Gary Oldman.
Aye.
Gary Oldman in what's the program he's on? Horses.
Slow Horses.
Slow Horses. Go and type him in. I need him to have this here. If we're remaking this, that's how I need him to look.
Good in Planet of the Apes, too.
You know what I'm saying? So he looks a bit dishevelled.
But you don't want him that character because in Slow Horses he's quite
He's a
comedic.
badass.
Aye.
He's a badass in Slow Horses.
But he's quite like comedic as well.
But how
And
he looks, that's the guy who's chasing down Michael Myers, and that's who's been haunting his dreams. Michael Myers has been haunting Gary Oldman's dreams for years.
Or Dr. Lecter himself. He'd be good working in there.
Anthony
But
Hopkins.
again, but again, you'd just be relating him to, oh, well, he was a doctor in the mental asylum, so of course he's a doctor now working in the asylum.
What
You know
about, I don't know if he's too big, as in like actual size.
Mm.
What about a Josh Brolin?
Maybe.
How would you? What look would you give him?
I don't know, you could age him
Sicario.
up.
Sicario look.
I think there with that beard, maybe lengthen that hair a wee bit.
He looks too hard. He looks like he would.
Too rugged.
He looks like he could batter
He
Michael.
looks like Michael Myers. It's like I actually have nightmares about you.
I will do what you say.
Aye.
Doctor.
But I get it. But I think he's just too. Who's the guy next to him in this one?
His dad.
Is it? Get his dad.
Oh.
That's a sugar.
I think
What
it's
about-
he looks like he wouldn't make an error. He looks too serious. The original Doctor is better because, like you say, the car drives past as they look away. Like he wouldn't make that mistake. He'd be on 24/7.
What about Al Pacino right now? With his hair all dishevelled. Al Pacino, go for it.
He has failed in the Doctor field.
Aye,
Look
we're
at his
looking.
own kids. Oops.
You know what I'm saying?
Aye, I can see it.
Aye, it's just a because
Aye.
you don't want somebody, as you
You
pointed
don't
out,
want him
Ross.
too able.
You want a guy who's
what I
been
mean?
tormented
Aye.
by Michael for years, and I think you need to. The way they look's very important, and I think Pacino, that sort of rugged,
What about that?
he's too nice.
Too nice.
Martin Scorsese's just too
Nice.
nice. He's a happy old guy. Like I'm looking for somebody a little bit more dishevelled, and he has to be a certain age. He can't be.
He has to.
He's too fit looking.
Aye.
Like Scorsese?
Almost like a uni doctor. Do you get what I mean?
Aye,
Like that
okay.
kind of liberal
I think Ben
sort
Kingsley's an
of.
absolute. I didn't think Ben Kingsley never even crossed my mind.
But he's played the and he was brilliant in Shutter Island and exactly the type you would want as well. Because remember in Shutter Island, like they don't want to really punish them. They're trying to help them, and that's how the Doctor comes across in Halloween. Like he's trying to help Michael Myers until he realizes he can't. He doesn't want to just lock him up and throw away the key, which a lot of people would do.
I think it'd also, like Ben Kingsley's also a good one in the sense that he can make you trust his character.
Yep.
Like Shutter Island, you are obviously still kind of no sure, but
You want to trust him?
you want to trust him and be like, no, he's a good guy.
What
So I
about-
think he'd play well into that role.
Just moving into this modern day of how we think, what about somebody like Morgan Freeman?
I knew you were going to say that.
And what about a female
Absolutely.
doctor? No?
No chance. No.
Do you think Michael
Michael Myers would just destroy her.
pins her down and just...
Just does what he wants. It couldn't be that. It couldn't be a female doctor because Michael Myers clearly fucking hates women. Because he's
So you go
main,
Morgan Freeman, you get a nice wee image of old Morgan Freeman there, grey-haired.
Like in Seven.
No, I'm thinking of Michael Morgan Freeman in The Old Boys, I think it was called. He plays like a really old guy in the film.
Is that one De Niro's in?
Yes.
And they like go to a casino and shit?
They're robbing the place.
Aye.
I could get behind Morgan Freeman.
I don't know, I think he looks too old.
But tormented, why is he still doing the job if he's too old? Because he wants to help
Because he
people.
can't get away from him. He's obsessed.
He needs to make sure Michael is not hurting people.
I don't
And he has
know.
the nice soft voice. Like
I don't think he's not doing it for
What
me.
about him in Catch Me If I Can? Go and click on that. Look at that hat. Anybody who wears a hat like that deserves to be in a Michael Myers.
black guy can pull that off, mate. You can't be a white guy wearing a hat like that. You just wouldn't happen.
James Bay.
Look at the guy.
So the best we've come up with is Ben
Ben
Kingsley.
Kingsley.
Sir Ben Kingsley. He's a sir, isn't he?
Yes, 99.
Right, well, we move on to final segment, the performance of the night.
Mhm.
Who won the film?
You've nailed it right on the money. I think Carpenter wins it. Not only did Carpenter write the movie, he directed the movie and did the score. The dun, 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 dun,
That's
dun, dun,
excellent,
dun.
eh?
That is you play that to anybody who's never seen the film will know that song.
I was about to jump on that because this is an absolute beauty. So my daughter is 9. She's where's the day, right? She's off school. And I quickly watched through again this morning and she heard the music and she went, oh, that's the Halloween music. She's not seen this film. She doesn't watch horror films.
It's an iconic,
Knows it's Halloween.
iconic.
At 9
sound.
years old. That's a lot of, that's generations of generations now.
Did you see the information about John Carpenter was in a band? Did you see this?
Did you tell me this,
I
actually?
think I did. John Carpenter was in a band with one of the other guys from the movie. This was before it, and that's how they they were all pals. They all went to like film school together. What's the film school called in LA where they all go to?
It was California. We Googled this last week. It was like
and there was the who's who of who was on it. So
but you had to pay in.
Yes.
Do you remember? You had to pay. We Googled all this on the train last week. We had done loads of great work, and then we got fucked up. But like per semester is X amount of $1,000 at that time as well. It's an astronomical amount of money.
But then at that time, you had people like Steven Spielberg were in there, John Carpenter. You'd like some of the best names in directing for the. Well, we're looking at this in the 70s, but that's when they made their name. Was 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yep.
I mean, they're still producing really good movies, but just to be looking back at that time and seeing all the directors and all the people from films now who were coming through the doors,
and they had to have
incredible.
been sharing ideas and things like that. I don't think they were like keeping it to themselves. I'm not talking about this with them, and I think that's important as well. To especially at a time, filmmaking was probably mega niche at that time. Like it would be very hard to get into now. Probably far harder back then.
You agree?
So,
Carpenter's the man.
I would say so, and then I'd also put like the slasher genre as a whole, because it's just like, here's how you make a good one. Go and just try and do this.
The blueprint is set, eh?
The bit from Scream, have you seen the original Scream film? So the wee guy for the film breaks down the whole horror, what makes a horror. Go into the videos, if you don't mind.
Well, is it a scene for the film?
Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
I couldn't even play the audio because it'll get pinged. But there's is it a scene like where he's like, this is what's going to happen.
Yep.
Aye, like because they all love movies in the original Scream, and then they actually watch Halloween in the original Scream as well.
That's right.
Aye. But aye, like they lay it out like, here, these are the tropes. Like there's the final girl who's a virgin. She'll survive.
You have sex.
You have sex. You die. There's a stoner. Aye. But I know what you're talking about. Like they lay it all out. But aye, I can't bring.
So
it
the same
up.
again. That kind of one. That whole setup of how we move forward with horror films.
And a lot of horrors since have like paid homage to Halloween. There is this thing where you have to show respect to Halloween. Eh? There is a lot of that within film.
So do you know they never actually had a whole rollout of films? So this was never put in all the cinemas at the one time.
Really?
No, it wasn't actually. So you know nowadays when films are released, they're released one day, every cinema gets the same film. That never happened with this film because nobody was willing to take it. And they put it in so many places.
Were they worried about it? Like, not going to...
I don't think, not that they were, I'm not sure, but they had no way of putting it out. Because this is a group of people who haven't made a great impact in the movie scene at this point.
Aye. They're no big hitters.
They then had to put it out. I think one of the guys was like whatever his job was, his job was to go round all the cinemas and deliver all the movies. And he just used his contacts for doing that to put it out in one area. And then he put it in another area. And it nearly almost took another year for them to get this film out across the whole of America. Because people, going
Just
back...
couldn't get access to it. Aye.
When we were watching films and we'd watch adverts, we'd watch trailers. They never had them. They never had places where you could see trailers.
I'm sorry, I just want to jump in and say this other sort of nostalgic bit. Do you remember when she wants to take the wee lassie over to the other house? Do you want to go watch TV with
Tommy Doyle?
And she goes, oh, but I'm watching this. Like, do you remember that? You couldn't just like click pause and come back to it. Like, you had to you either waited till the program was finished, then went, or planned everything before. I remember watching that today and be like...
Is there anything else, as you're saying about that, which doesn't hold up the test of time? Apart from mobile phone, telephones in the house.
Kids don't relate to. Or like the bit where they take the phone off the hook when they're riding. Phone keeps ringing. Fucking knock that off the hook. There's none of that now. It's...
the movie would be a lot easier as well nowadays if they'd filmed it nowadays. Some of your wife would be like, hey, there's a guy out in the...
I know. There's a weird guy hanging about.
I've taken some pictures of him. I'm sending him to the police.
Put on my Instagram story. Anybody know this freak? That's it.
And that's that over.
Aye. Michael's caught, back in the loony bin. The doctor's back in the boozer by 10 o'clock.
Or even
Sorted.
Or even on the motorway where it's like, you've got your mobile phone out. There's a guy driving down
Dash cam footage of a boy driving about with a mask, hand on a big knife and the steering wheel.
He's caught straight away.
I know.
Lastly, I know I said that was the final section, but I forgot about this one. Judges'
okay.
scorecards. How accurate would you think the film's Rotten Tomatoes score is? It's got a 97% critic score and an 89% audience score.
I totally agree with it.
I don't find any. There's no bits I didn't like. You could watch that anytime.
I did read a few reviews where
If you like horror, obviously.
people were nailing it. So like on Letterboxd. So when I watch a film, I'll read reviews and I'll just see roughly what people are saying about like a film.
Aye.
And there's quite a lot of people not liking it.
Why?
Quite a lot of people realise like, I understand this film. I understand what it done for the movie industry.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of people were nailing it.
Horror movies are in their infancy at this point.
Yeah, you're right. You're
So
totally right.
people
but
have to get a break and be like, look, it's
Obviously-
UFC 2.
You're right.
And it's not going to
But
be brilliant.
As I said, when we were
But I don't
talking
think it needs that. Like,
You should be able to appreciate it for what it is.
but I don't even think that needs to come into question because I think it does hold up.
I do.
Like, there's nothing really
Listen, I
dated about it.
agree
I'm
with
saying
you.
for people criticising it.
But there's a few people. I'll just see if I can get it.
That's what I'm saying. For criticising it, people need to remember what they're watching.
Right,
Like,
well,
if you're trying to compare that to a horror today, that's not the same thing. There's not the same tools available.
2.5 stars. Who stabs a man, then leaves the knife lying next to him? Bitch, pick it up. Right, so they're
Always take your
nailing.
tools home, bruh.
They're nailing the story. Michael Myers, that's me. I don't give a shit. Gave it 1.5 stars. Too much strangling, not enough slashing. As somebody's wrote, that's my hot take.
Not
I don't know. I think
slashing.
this is people just being like, trying to be funny.
I don't know, man. Like,
I'm not buying them.
this is because I had a wee look through. There's another one. 1.5 stars. A lot of people giving it the 5, which I think it deserves.
I think a lot of the bad reviews are just people trying to be
Trolls,
funny. Right. But
Aye.
I agree with the score.
I think
It's held in very high regard.
the only way you could score negatively is if you're comparing it to a film of like today, made on today's budget with today's technology available to you. But that's if you're being that type, like, well, I like my films futuristic and I like them of a certain style.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the lots left to the imagination, gaps, maybe wee plot holes. The driving thing, I like that, mate. It gives the film a wee bit of
Character
like
doesn't need jump scares.
doesn't have one. So I liked it. 10 out of 10 for me.
I agree. It's definitely up there with one of
It's a 5-round clean sweep.
my favourite.
Aye.
On that note,
It set the tone.
so guys, watch it. Let us put in the comments what you thought of the film, and we'll get back and forward with you regarding our favourite scenes, your favourite scenes. Hope you enjoyed it, and maybe next week we'll be pulling out another Halloween movie for you.
Maybe.
So keep it high.
See you
And
soon.
don't get caught with the sheriff.